So I'm here in Lawrence, Kansas at the next to Love Garden, great record store, and I just met this dude.
Hey,
What's your name, man?
Joshua.
What all do you do?
I play drums a lot and some other instruments, and I play in this punk band called Folklore Suburbia. So we had like a whole one show, but it was a really good show. So.
Are you local?
Yeah. We actually practiced right down the street, and I think the show we played was just like over 2 blocks. So yeah, we're definitely a Lawrence band.
Good,
Sure.
good local shit. You were mentioning how you had some history with K-Rock.
Yeah. I grew up in Orange County, around Pasadena, just kind of on the border of Orange County, LA County, and I was a huge fan of K-Rock growing up, and I ended up working with Rodney on the Rock, just like answering phones and stuff, and then I ended up actually doing a show on K-Rock for. I did like fill-ins and just part-time stuff for a while, but yeah, I got to meet some idols, you know.
Like who?
Oh man, I hate this. I hate the name dropping thing, man.
Yeah,
I don't have any really great stories until like. I mean, I know a lot more like '90s bands because I kind of worked more in radio in the Midwest here in the '90s. So I know a lot of kind of neo-punk bands, but and a lot of crappy top 40 artists. But yeah, man, I mean, definitely saw a lot of people come and go. I wouldn't say that there's probably at least a dozen, people that I got to meet, and I'm not gonna like drop names, man, because I don't want to get called out on that,
Yeah, I understand that, but dude, it's just awesome that you got that opportunity in the first place, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was really lucky, and I mean, I got to see a lot of bands like. This isn't a real good example as far as like punk goes, but I know there's some people out there that used to be kind of into No Doubt and that kind of thing. I went to school with Gwen.
Ska scene. You went to school with Gwen Stefani?
Yeah, and Adrian, their drummer. He and I were pretty good friends. We used to cruise around Disneyland at night, sneaking in, like transferring stamps.
That's awesome.
We'd use cigarette cellophane at McDonald's across the street to transfer stamps in, and we'd all go in and try and scam on girls at Videopolis.
That's awesome.
So, we hung out, a little bit here and there, and No Doubt was, they were just kind of another local band, and honestly, they weren't always real good, but they kind of got their shit together, and they had a small label sign them, and then they actually came to K-Rock and kind of debuted their single, which wasn't that good. It was Trapped in a Box, I think.
I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, and it's like Gwen's kind of doing this weird, like, sounds like she's having some kind of weird palpitations while she's singing. But yeah, they definitely honed in on their sound. And then fortunately, I was working at a top 40 station here in the Midwest when Just a Girl came out, and I was able to get, like totally on that and support them, which felt really good because, somebody I actually knew that kind of, was able to make it with what they were doing.
Yeah, I remember being a kid, and I actually first heard No Doubt back then, and I had absolutely no idea that Gwen Stefani was this super huge pop star that toured with Akon and many of the...
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, she wasn't that kind of person. I mean,
yeah, it's really strange to see transition.
Dude, in high school, I was in marching band with her, and she was meaner than, like, most punks guys that I knew. I mean, she wasn't she didn't, like, dress the punk part or anything, but she was total tomboy,
Just had the attitude,
yeah,
and the spirit of it.
Yeah. Like, I remember, like, being at some lame football game, and her, like, she went to the bathroom or something, and we used to have to play, like, during breaks and that kind of thing. And I picked up her snare drum and, like, put it over my shoulders and started playing. And she ended up, like, whipping me with one of the sticks when I got back because I was out of line,
Shit.
So, yeah. Well, I was a little out of line. It wasn't him. But yeah, she's cool, man. Definitely someone that I don't, know on a real personal basis or anything. But those were definitely people from kind of where I grew up, and yeah, they were around K-Rock too. And I mean, I don't think about it that much, but there was a lot of people that came in and out that you just, you don't necessarily get to shake their hands, and I'm not an autograph hound, so. But it's cool, It's definitely
Have
stuff
you
I don't want
ever?
to forget about.
You mentioned you were a fan of Fear. Have you ever met Lee Ving before?
No.
What's your favorite album by Fear?
Oh, just the record. The record. Yeah.
American. Have you heard the American Beer? Their
Oh yeah.
Practical Final album.
Right.
I mean, technically, actually, that's a good question too. Have you heard the Fear record? Or do you have any idea what that is?
I'm not sure if I've heard that or not. I think I have. I have the record and Fear More Beer, and those are the main two.
Lee Ving, don't hate me for this, but the Fear record was their 2012 new album. It's literally a re-recording, cleaned up version of their original.
I did hear about that, but it's not something that I'm sure I really want to hear.
Don't kill me, Lee Ving. I'm sorry. No, I mean...
Did you hear something about the Lee Ving, like his guest appearance on The Get Down?
No.
Because...
I mean, I think I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious that he actually says, "Go die."
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. I'm sure that's... I mean, if it's actually true, I don't know for a fact that it's him, but it sure looks like him, and...
He did start a lot of movies, though. I do know that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know he and Henry Rollins both did a lot of movies.
Right.
I mean, maybe not together, but yeah. I mean,
I have run into Jello Biafra quite a few times.
I need to run into him.
Yeah.
I would love to interview him.
I met him, I guess you could say, kind of back in the day or whatever.
The Kennedy's era or Guantanamo era?
The Dead Kennedys era, and then again when he started really getting out there with the spoken word stuff with "I Blow Mine." I used to have a radio show on LTRN, which good luck googling that one.
What's it called?
But the show was called Free Air, not to be confused with that fucking NPR show, whatever it is. Yeah, I had him on my show a couple of different times, just, doing his thing, exchanging information.
He did a spoken word on your show?
Yeah, just like a phone interview kind of thing, and was talking about some new... This was in the middle of the Clinton administration, so
90s era?
It was early 90s, like 91, 92, and there was a lot going on with the Parents Music Resource Center, which, Tipper Gore, Hillary, you're all part of that, which that in and of itself kind of disqualifies Hillary, but I'd still vote for her again.
It's interesting enough to hear Jello go on for hours about that.
Well, Jello's cool enough that, like, okay, California Uber Alles is basically this huge put down on Jerry Brown, which I'm sure you know all about that being from San Francisco, but and of course is running for mayor.
Tipper also almost fucking ruined Jello's life.
Yeah. She like definitely went on a campaign.
If it wouldn't have been a punk trial, I'm pretty sure we would have a much different punk world today.
True. But that song California Uber Alles is this big put down on the way the world would be if Jerry Brown ever made it to presidency, and then Jello turned around several years later and basically recanted that, and said, actually, I voted for the guy. So, I'm sure he voted for him more than once.
Have you seen the Dead Kennedy documentary, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Eyeballs?
Oh.
It's a documentary. Jello is not in this. In fact, it's kind of in shit taste because it's the karaoke band Dead Kennedys, as I like to call them now, because they just tour around and they make lots of money. Right. It's the current members of the Dead Kennedys talking a lot of shit on Jello and making it seem as if he's the reason why they broke up and he's the reason why they went downhill quickly.
Jello's he definitely has a knack for making enemies. I know that a lot of people that, a lot of the kids that I played in bands with, on the West Coast were very. It was kind of like there was, you know, kind of like Biggie Tupac, man. It was, you know, a lot of hate being, you know, I guess since Jello was kind of the poster boy and he was very political, a lot of people didn't think that really belonged in the scene, which, you know, that's kind of what it's about. So
Trying to think of what there's a song on Not So Quiet on the Western Front where this before, I don't know the name of the song or the band, but before the song starts, this guy says, "Hey, where's your boy Jello at? Hiding out in Walnut Creek. Might seem to hide when the competition gets tough."
Yeah. I don't remember exactly where it was at. I'm pretty sure if it's the same track I'm thinking of, I was there for that.
You were there for that show?
Yeah, which, I mean, I don't really think that's a big deal. I mean, find me like 3 people that have even heard that compilation, Not So Quiet on the Western Front. But that was, for me, like when I heard all of these local bands, I'd already been introduced to, you know, a lot of the mainstream or semi-mainstream punk. But when I heard Not So Quiet on the Western Front, that was definitely what, you know, it was like, oh yeah, you know, I want to do this.
Yeah, dude, that's one of my fucking favorite vinyls, but I'm really pissed off that it got stolen from me.
Yeah, well, fortunately they reissued it, which was, I was really happy about that because I had a stolen copy of it myself. My friend Pat that introduced me to it let me borrow it for the summer, and the summer just didn't end.
It didn't end.
It just never ended. But yeah, they reissued that. So.
Not to jump over the border, but are you a fan of This Is Boston, Not L.A.?
I'm not really all that familiar with them. I've heard maybe a track or two, not enough to really have an opinion.
It's an East Coast compilation, hardcore from Boston.
Yeah.
The Freezer on it, Gangrene, the FUs, but I fucking love the FUs.
Yeah. I remember the cover art now.
Yeah.
And okay.
There's 2 versions of it. There's This Is Boston, Not LA, and Unsafe at Any Speed. Jeremy's Kids, which is one of the fastest East Coast bands, other than Bad Brains, obviously. They're on that one. You should check that shit out.
Yeah, definitely. And I was gonna say they're, as far as you were talking about, like the Dead Kennedys being kind of a cover band.
That's Biafra's words.
I mean, you know, or to quote, whatever.
Karaoke band.
We actually have a band here in Kansas, of all places, and they're called Brownbackistan. And they're fucking amazing.
That's a great name, too.
They roll through a Dead Kennedy set that, I mean, I've been playing drums for a pretty long time, and their drummer, I mean, as good, if not better, than all the Dead Kennedys drummers put together. I mean, just guys amazing. And
what's her name again? Brownbackistan?
Brownbackistan.
I'll have to look them
of course,
up.
after our famous, infamous.
I think Love Garden has anything by them.
Brownbackistan. Yeah, probably.
I'll have to look that up once we're done with this.
I don't know how much stuff they record, but they played just down the street.
Wait, they're from Lawrence?
Yeah.
I might have to look that shit up.
Brownbackistan.
Fucking
check it
good.
out. And everybody definitely, you know, check out Folklore Suburbia. I just got like the admin shit for the Facebook page, but I'm putting more stuff up there, and definitely Lawrence, Kansas punk rock. If you look that up,
I'll have the link to all that in the description below.
Yeah,
down there, people.
Definitely
on the ground.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Got any more quick stories you want to share?
Oh man, I don't. Maybe some other time if I think of them. Like I said, I don't. You know, I feel like I'm like being an egotistic asshole. Or like trying to make myself look. No, dude. I just stuff like that.
I just love getting this history. I love getting the stories. That's my passion.
You know, we'll be in touch. I can definitely talk to you again. There's a few things, but I definitely, you know, wouldn't mind having, you know, having some notes for that, just so I don't go off and say something stupid. Because I've been fortunate to meet a few people, but that doesn't, you know, doesn't make me famous by association. So
I just love the stories, dude. The stories, the history of it.
I'll tell you, like, this isn't at all punk, but like one of the funniest interviews I ever did was with Brian Setzer. He was in the Stray Cats.
I've heard of the Stray Cats.
Which I was into a lot of rockabilly in the 80s, and
The
I
Cramps, they're
interviewed him on
rockabilly.
Z95.7.
Z95.7?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
worked for them once?
Yeah, yeah. And they actually played cool music at one time and
Yeah.
then changed formats. to kind of a
95.7,
top
no
40 thing.
vibe.
But yeah, he came on and basically played along to his own track with his Gretsch. And of course, rather than me being able to just conduct an interview, his manager comes in and gives me this fucking list of questions that are approved questions.
Oh, shit.
Like, who do they think he is? I mean, it's Brian Setzer. It's not, I don't know, whoever.
Drake
right?
or whatever?
Yeah, and, so I just kind of ignored it, and I asked him something that apparently pissed him off quite a bit, because he had this, like, I don't know how expensive the guitar was, like this, $250,000 Gretsch guitar that he threw up on stage and failed to catch, which, is just murder in the nth degree, as far as I'm concerned. So when I brought that up, he was not real happy and quickly brought the interview to a close.
Yeah, Chris Novoselic once tossed his guitar up and it went BAM!
Oh yeah, on the MTV Music Awards, I remember that. At least he owned it, He was just like, ugh.
Yeah, I watched an interview with Dave Grohl and Kurt saying that I guess after he did that, Kurt and Dave couldn't find him, and I guess they found him drinking champagne with another musician after the show.
Yeah, well, he was apparently gushing blood from he was. Is that not true?
Yes, that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That is what happened, because it certainly looked like it wouldn't have felt real good, especially the way he was stumbling on stage afterwards.
Bam!
Yeah. Maybe intentional.
Yeah.
So they're gonna say nice shirt.
Oh, thanks,
I
man.
didn't know they made a
Does-
shirt out of that.
I see him every once in a while, but I think I got this in New Orleans or something like
New
a long
Orleans.
time ago, because obviously it doesn't fit too well anymore.
Oh, you like New Orleans? Have you heard of a band? I know your girl looks like she wants to go real quickly, but
Oh, my daughter. Jay.
Oh, that's your
She's
daughter?
awesome. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's cool.
Um,
Everybody say hi to Jay.
Hi.
You want to plug your YouTube?
Yeah. Well, over. I'm at 17 minutes, but you go ahead.
Dude, she was on stage with, I don't know if you're into like Best Coast.
But
You remember Best Coast?
I do know who they are.
There was a show here at Liberty during the Zion Music Festival.
Best Coast, not the West Coast or some shit.
Right. Anyway, man, that was a while back. Cause you were like 5 or 6
No, I
or
was
7.
older than
something.
that, but
Anyway, Bethany pulls her up on stage, and what song did you guys do?
oh wow, I can't even remember. It was that long ago. Never watched
Whatever
the video.
starts, the world is dangerous, and something.
Something.
Yeah. But yeah, Bethany with an 8-ball covering her face was pulling my daughter up on stage, and she killed it with the tambourine.
It's fucking awesome. What's your YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube channel.
Oh, you used to.
I don't use it ever.
Do you have a Tumblr or a Twitter
I
or some
use
shit?
Facebook is Jay Duringer, and Instagram is Day Duringer, like DayJDuringer. Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm at 18 minutes, but anything else you want to add to this?
No, I'm surprised you still have a battery.
Oh, I'm not going to have them by the end of the day. It happens all the time, dude.
Oh man, it's good talking to
I'm
you.
a fucking freelance journalist. I do this. I love
Definitely
this.
keep you in mind if I have any old war stories or whatever.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hopefully the best is yet to come.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, man.
Ciao.
Ciao.